This is something you guys have been requesting like crazy for a long time. It took a while, but I finally found 3 terrifying stories that happened during school lockdowns. It was a regular boring day in calculus, but being Friday, 7th period, meant the weekend was near, and spring break was finally upon us. Everyone was restless in their seats. Luckily, we had no test that day, unlike many of my friends in other classes. So, our laid-back teacher decided to play trivia games with us on Sporkle.com. As we played a brand logo quiz, I remember the exact moment it happened, right after my friend answered Adidas. The dean's voice suddenly came through the loudspeaker, panicked and frantic, telling all teachers that this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. Chills ran down my spine, and even our usually relaxed teacher looked terrified as he turned off the lights and motioned us to the back of the room. For 2 minutes, we sat in complete silence. Then, the usual buzzing from the panel in the back stopped, signaling that the school had cut power. We exchanged nervous glances, realizing this was serious. Moments later, a man's voice erupted in a blood-curdling scream from the hallway. 2 girls started crying, making the atmosphere even more terrifying. The screaming grew closer, and then the lunatic began banging on lockers while yelling, "I'll kill all of you." That was when I truly feared for my life. Our teacher signaled us to stay silent, and we all watched each other's reactions in terror. The banging shifted from lockers to our classroom door. One of the crying girls let out a scream. The man pounded harder, shouting, "Open up!" The girls sobbed louder. It felt like an eternity before he finally moved on, his deranged screams fading into the distance. After what felt like half an hour, the dean came back on the loudspeaker to explain the situation. Apparently, a mentally unstable man had entered the building and attacked the front desk woman, forcing her to flee in terror. The staff wasn't sure if he was armed. Since the school lacked security cameras and proper safety measures, the intruder had easy access. Teachers were told to resume lessons but keep doors locked. The most disturbing part: a janitor later found the man sleeping in a storage closet. Rumors spread that a .44 Magnum was sticking out of his pocket. By the time the police arrived, he was gone. To this day, none of us know if he was ever caught. But I hope he's getting the help he needs. Music. My school has 2 lunch periods. First lunch is for all 6th graders and some 7th graders, while the second is for the rest of the 7th graders and all 8th graders. The lockdown happened in early October. That day, the sky was overcast, and it rained during the first lunch period. Suddenly, loud booms echoed. I assumed it was thunder, but the cafeteria erupted in screams. I thought they were overreacting until campus security rushed in, ordering everyone into the multipurpose room. Kids in the lunch line had to throw away their food and hurry inside. Me and my friends went in, confused. The multipurpose room is massive, with a glass wall at the back. As we were rushed inside, security officers covered the windows with curtains, and staff guarded every exit. My friend Eric, just as curious as the rest of us, asked an adult what was happening. When he returned, he whispered, "You know those houses near to..." A mentally unstable guy barricaded himself inside and threatened to kill himself and any cops trying to evict him. Earlier, he was seen outside, watching kids in a creepy way. As if that wasn't terrifying enough, it turned out he was also a registered sex offender. We were trapped inside for an hour, missing 2 class periods. After the situation was handled, we were escorted back to class, 1 group at a time. Later, my friend Brandy told me the man lived next door to her. The previous Halloween, she saw him standing at his window, cutting his arm and writing in blood, "Don't come here, or I'll kill you." At the time, everyone assumed it was just a Halloween stunt. But after that day, we realized how truly dangerous he was. Thankfully, he never got close to us. Music. I'm 22, fresh out of college, and recently got a job at my old high school as a computer intern in the basement. The basement is cluttered, but the small office there is surprisingly nice. 3 big desks, 2 mini-fridges, a flat-screen TV, and air conditioning, a luxury students and teachers upstairs don't have. I landed the job because 3 of my old computer teachers loved me, even treating me like a friend rather than just a student. It was great, until a few weeks ago. My co-workers, Dave and Gary, weren't in the office at the time. They were upstairs handling paperwork. I was eating my lunch when I got a call from the front office, telling me the school was in lockdown due to a possible armed intruder. There wasn't much I could do. My office didn't have a door, and the basement door didn't even lock. For my safety, I turned off the lights and computer screen, then texted Dave and Gary, but got no response. Sitting there in the dark, I played on my phone, waiting for the all clear. I had no idea what was happening above. Then, the basement door creaked open, its eerie sound echoing. My heart pounded. Footsteps rushed down the stairs. Someone was coming. I ducked under my desk. The figure entered but didn't turn on the lights. Silence. I held my breath, terrified to make the slightest noise. Then, my phone buzzed. My blood ran cold. The footsteps moved toward me. I panicked and bolted from under the desk, pleading, "Please don't hurt me." A man grabbed my arm and pulled me up. He wore a red plaid shirt, jeans, and a dark red cap. "It's okay," he whispered. "I'm hiding too. What's going on upstairs?" He avoided my gaze when I asked who he was. I checked my phone. A text from Dave read, "Dude, this is insane. Some guy in a red shirt and hat shot Mr. Buckley. Don't come upstairs." My stomach dropped. I looked up, eyes widening in horror. The man noticed my reaction. My mind screamed at me to run. Just as I sprinted for the stairs, a gunshot echoed through the basement. The bullet ricocheted off metal. Miraculously, I made it upstairs. Police were stationed at all exits, including the basement, and tackled the man the moment he stepped outside. Thankfully, Mr. Buckley survived. Later, it was revealed the shooter had a personal grudge against him, though the reason was never disclosed. No one could believe what happened, and to this day, I can still hear that gunshot ringing in my ears.